It's amazing how much money changed people. So we have Charlemagne, the God from the Breakfast Club here. Listen to what he has to say before fame, before he has money. Then I'm going to play you, I'm going to play a different video of Charlemagne the God after he became famous. All right, let's do this.
Dude goes, yo, why don't you just keep it real with her and tell her that her skin is a disadvantage and things are gonna be harder for her because she's black. Nigga, fuck you. Fuck you mean my skin is a disadvantage? Don't insult what God gave me. And that's how I truly feel. How can we look at a white person and be like, yo, that white person got privilege because of the color of his skin? Nigga, represent your set.
Right.
Respect what God gave you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm black. It's a privilege for me to be black. Like, God designed me this way. He created me this way. It's power in what I am. And guess what? I don't know anything else. God put me here to be something great. You know what I mean? So how could I ever look at somebody else and be like, they're greater than me just because of the color of their skin? Nah, you gotta show me more than that. You gotta outwork me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be more intelligent than me. I gotta see you putting yourself in better positions than me. Like, you gotta do a lot more than just wake up white.
Right.
You know what I mean? For me to say, oh, he's better than me. I don't give it up for nobody just because of they're white. I give it up for people because they're talented.
Isn't that crazy what he just said? This is beautiful. There's nothing else to add. White privilege is not real, right? Now, this is Charlemagne the God having a conversation with Andrew Schulz, right? After fame, after the money, so now he's rich and everything, right? Let's listen to this.
He said that Senator Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are always putting out these presumptions that America is systemically racist. And that there's no, he said they try to say that there's racial bias in law enforcement.
Yeah.
So the moment he was talking some real bullshit.
So now it's bullshit. It's not anymore, God gave me my skin color, God made me the way I am. Now that he has money, he has to align with the narrative, right? Isn't that crazy? Let's keep listening. I'll put both video link in the description.
Yeah.
That fly swooped right in and landed right on his fucking head. And he spent 2 minutes talking about some shit that we all know exists. Yo, I don't give a fuck. If you can't acknowledge that systemic racism exists in America, bro.
Yeah.
If you can't acknowledge that systemic racism exists in law enforcement.
Yeah. It existed or currently exists.
He said it don't exist. He said that Senator Harris and Biden are always talking about this presumption.
He's talking about Vice President Pence during the debate, right? If you remember that, when he told Kamala Harris that systemic racism is not real, which is true, it's not real. If systemic racism was real, Charlemagne the God, you will never be sitting there. It's just dumb. But anyway, let's just keep listening. I want you to think about the previous video. Think about what he said in the previous video. You cannot tell me that a white person is more successful or is more intelligent than me just because of the color of their skin. Now, all of a sudden, look at what he's saying. These people are just fake, bro.
Of systemic racism, as if it's just an idea.
I think it's undeniable that it definitely existed, but in terms of like laws that are in place right now to be racist, like currently, I don't know if I can point in any current.
Well, it's not about the law. It's about this actual system, the way America was structured. Systemic racism is the fact that fucking Ebony K. Williams is the first black housewife on Real Housewives of New York. Why? As long as that show's been on, only one. Like we should be embarrassed that in America we have first when it comes to black people, are first when it comes to Latinos. It's because these structures and these institutions are built on whiteness.
That is so dumb. It means there's progress. Every time you have the first anything, it means we are moving forward. But see, he already bought to the narrative. He gave himself to the fake media and the corporation and the fake narrative. So he has to align with it. Let's keep listening.
Right.
So
right.
If I'm a white person in a position of power, yeah, I can keep people from not being here. I can keep people from not getting seats at the table.
But that wouldn't be the system that's racist. That would be the people within the system that are racist. That's racist actors. I think systemic racism is redlining. I think systemic racism is Jim Crow. I
agree with that.
Like, I think that's truly the system. Stop and frisk, you could definitely make the argument was systemically racist. But in terms of
hiring practices can be systemically racist.
They
whether or not they're on the books or not. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, I still think it's forms of segregation in America. I think that, you know, if you're a landlord and you hear somebody's voice, hi, I'm Shaniqua, and you're like, oh
no, we don't do that.
Good. And you call back, hi, I'm Karen.
Yeah.
Hey,
welcome.
That's systemic racism.
That's not systemic racism. That means a person is being racist. And that's what this man here was saying. Shout out to Andrew Schulz, I believe. Can you think about how insulting it is for Charlemagne to be sitting there with Andrew Schulz and basically telling him, you know, low key, you are there because of the color of your skin. You're not there because you deserve it. That's pretty much what he's talking about when he's talking about systemic racism. Don't get me wrong. Are there racist people out there? People of, you know, different skin color hating on another race? Of course. There's good and bad everywhere. But let's just keep listening here. Charlemagne, bro.
Whether it's on the books or not, it's a system that is rooted in bigotry, rooted in racism, rooted in whiteness.
See, that's where I give a little pushback, because I think it's like, okay, these are racist people that get put in these positions of power.
Yep.
But when we apply systemic racism to now, I think it's tricky, because you basically open up a little space for people on the conservative side who agree with Mike Pence to go, well, no, point at this, show me where the systemically racist law exists.
Bro, ask that question to anybody believing that there's a systemic racism happening or that the system is racist. They can't tell you. They literally cannot tell you.
And that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is like the legacy of systemic racism has put people in positions of power who reinforce those things even if they're not there.
Yeah, you know,
that's the thing that cracks me up about like Hollywood. It cracks me up about
look at Hollywood.
Well, no, it's not even Hollywood, right? It's like it's all these like it's corporations. You know, they're all woke, or they at least front like they're woke, but the reality is if you look at their executive boards, they're all white, right?
And that's why right now the conversation about systemic racism has to happen, because the people who are in positions of power who have the privilege have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Can't be like Mike Pence and be like, it doesn't exist. Because once you acknowledge it, you can atone for it.
Maybe there's you acknowledge in the past, and you can acknowledge like racist practice that continue. But I think people get caught up in like the legalese of it. But yeah, that shit would piss me off. Like, first of all, there's nothing wrong with like an executive board that's all white. Just like there's nothing wrong with an executive board that's all black. Like, that's fine. You can have that.
It depends what the company is.
Exactly. I think it depends on the actions of the company, right? If you're an executive board that's all white, but you're a whitewater rafting company, okay.
Amazing.
That's what y'all do. You know
I'm not going to ever be like, why does the fuck it got to be whitewater? Okay, do your thing. I don't care.
Exactly, right? If it's NASCAR, if it's one of these things, of course, right? But if you're one of these companies that like really harps on how important diversity is to you, like these Hollywood studios do, right? You know, we had a black president of the United States of America before there was a black president of any of these Hollywood film studios.
That deserves a pause. Shout out to this guy, bro. He's trying really hard because him and Charlemagne are friends. So he's trying really hard to help Charlemagne understand, bro, what you're saying don't make any sense. Are there racist people out there? Yes, of course. But a system, come on, bro. Don't be dumb. Anyway, I'll put the video link in the description. This video here was just to show you how fake certain people can be, right? Charlemagne, he did not used to believe that systemic racism is a real thing, that it actually exists. Because you cannot tell this man right here that he got there, he became famous, he became a millionaire or whatever, how much money he's making, because some white guy somewhere allowed him to be there. He worked hard. So what? Are you somehow some type of unicorn? Come on, man. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. God bless you.